We are now into Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And that's going to take a lot of different shapes depending on where in the country you live in. But basically the idea is supposed to be to show appreciation for and expand people's knowledge of the contributions of these communities to America. Well, there's a lot of positive parts of that. I think also one part of it is to identify some issues right now that perhaps some members of those communities feel for how they're treated, how they're seen in America. So I saw this poll, and it's fairly devastating. So there's a lot here. Nearly 3 out of 4 Chinese Americans say they have experienced racial discrimination in the past 12 months. Okay, I think, considering some of this, that's 3 out of 4 in the last year. Asian Americans, especially young Asian American women, are the least likely out of any group polled to feel they completely belong and are accepted in the US. So half of Asian Americans report feeling unsafe in the US due to their race and ethnicity. Only 22% of Asian Americans say they feel they belong and are accepted in the US. That's compared to 57% of white respondents. The other 43% are Fox viewers. 25% of Latinos, 24% of Black respondents in the survey. So look, there's a lot of people in America who don't feel like America accepts them, but it's actually even worse for this group. Francesca, what do you think?
No, I mean, it's terrible. I mean, and look, there for so many different reasons, we need to be reminded of how much inclusion and representation really matters. And the ways that I think Asian Americans in a really cruel way are seen simultaneously as model minorities, but also outsiders, right? And I think we need to, it's something we struggle with consistently, and it's something that we need to obviously work on. And of course, none of this, this is all in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, calling something, the Kung flu, the China virus, and all of that. This is part of the reason why. But it also is, just not seeing Asian Americans in prominent places, in television, movies. It matters. It does really matter. So I don't know, John. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I'm half Chinese, so half of me feels this, but also I'm not openly it doesn't. People don't walk up to me and automatically assume that I am Chinese. So,
Yeah, we saw those attacks. I mean, look, we know how many on the right tried to use the situation with COVID, let alone the generalized fear mongering over China that we always have. The attempt to use COVID disgustingly, not caring about all of the violence we were seeing, the literal mass murder that we were seeing. They just kept doing it and kept doing it. And then you look at other groups too, this is the same country where we know, God help us if a movie comes out starring an Asian person. We know what the cultural backlash to that will be.
Yeah, no,
a Black person starring in a movie, they will freak the hell out. God knows why people feel like they're not accepted in America.
It's also not knowing our history. Lastly, I just want to say shout out to the PBS documentary Asian Americans. It's so good. Asian Americans have been in this country, have built this country, have worked for this country for so many generations, and we don't learn about that in school, right? And of course now we're criminalizing that in school to learn about Asian Americans' contributions and all the different waves of immigration and why. And so that is so essential. The first woman to run as a Democrat, I believe, Asian American from Hawaii, and I don't even remember her name, right? But this is so crucial, and we've erased our own history, just like we've erased so much of our history in this country.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.